Hello my dear listeners, in today's silver video I will be covering gold-silver ratio with Mike Maloney. I will going back in time and see and cover one of my prediction video from the past, and I will be breaking the story about the Samsung silver battery, that story, to see what's is true and what's is high. So let's begin with Mike Maloney first.
But as it gets down in here, I would add gold to my position. And when it gets down to here, I'd be buying all gold. But the reason for this chart, the green line, I probably should have put this at 33 or 35, but I just wanted to show you what everybody considered normal and average throughout the 70s bull market is that silver was about 33 to 135, 133rd or 135th of gold's price. And that was normal with enormous silver stockpiles available all over the world. Now, all of the silver is gone, and it's 164th of the price of
70s, about the average ratio in the 30s, and in 2011 we barely we've been here for, that's the monthly chart. Right now we broke 664, which has been like a long-term average for all silver stackers where you could take a profit, and I kind of agree with Mike Maloney that low 30s will be a good ratio, but 30s seems very feasible compared to the 70s bull market. So now there is an interesting video I made here. It was about, actually it was more about this silver doubling before Bitcoin doubles, but actually it happened, but it's not the way I was expecting. So Bitcoin went down and the silver went up. But I would like to share this part, which is I found really relevant right now.
Fairly valued and will be eventually overvalued. This is right now, it's a great rate insurance. Insurance is what is the insurance? I work in the insurance industry for the past 10 years, so let me explain. Insurance, it's a risk that a certain event will happen. So you're paying the premium, consider on the probability of this event. And if you want to cash your policy before the event, you have to sell it at a discount. So what is happening right now, the probability, the event we actually take insurance is monetary reform and a crisis in the dollar. So that probability is extremely high. The insurance premium is the cost of the silver. It's extremely low. So you can buy very cheap insurance on a very probable event.
Actually unfolding, and this is translated in over $70 silver spot, which is I don't think it's like at the top of the market or overvalued. I would just look into the gold silver ratio. So and everyone, like, I've been in this market long enough, and everyone is kind of convinced right now that we are not near the top. Samsung silver based battery coming into the market, because this is very important on the side of the demand and supply.
I think this is just Samsung talking a big game. They have buyers. We have seen this reports on the partnership with BMW. BMW is launching the Neue Klasse new class vehicles in 2027. They have publicly stated they are moving to solid-state batteries. Samsung SDI is their partner. Rumors suggest BMW has already pre-ordered 500,000 units for the 2027-2028 model years. Let's do that math. 500,000 cars, 1 kilo per car, 500 metric tons of silver, that is 16 million ounces. That is just one car company for one model line, effectively removing 16 million ounces from the COMEX before the year even starts. And here is the force majeure connection. How does BMW guarantee that silver? They don't buy futures contracts. They don't buy SLV. They sign offtake agreements directly with the miners. They go to Fresnillo, they go to KGHM, they go to Glencore, and they say, we will buy your next 5 years of production. Here's the cash. This is why the COMEX inventory is frozen. This is why the registered stocks are draining. The metal is bypassing the exchange entirely. It is going from the mine directly to the Samsung factory in Hungary. The public market, the one you trade on, the one where you see the price, is becoming a market of scraps. The main course has already been eaten by the industrial giants. But wait, it gets worse, because while Samsung is targeting 2027, China is targeting now. BYD, build your dreams. The biggest EV maker in the world. They just unveiled their 5-minute charging infrastructure. Do you think they are achieving 5-minute charging with old-school graphite anodes? Physics says no. We have intelligence from the Shenzhen tech sector that BYD is testing a hybrid solid battery. It uses less silver than Samsung, maybe 500 grams instead of 1,000 grams, but they are deploying it faster and in higher volume. BYD sold 3 million EVs in 2024. If they convert just 30% of their fleet to this new silver-heavy tech to compete with Samsung, 1 million cars x 500 grams, now just 500 metric tons, another 16 million ounces. And that is just the start. If BYD puts this in every car, 3 million cars x 500 grams, are 48 million ounces. Between BMW and BYD, we have just accounted for nearly 100 million ounces of new demand. That wipes out the entire global surplus of the last decade. Gone. And we haven't even talked about Tesla yet. The car business is a game of follow the leader. If Samsung, partnered with BMW, releases a car that charges in 9 minutes, do you think Elon Musk is going to sit back and sell a Tesla that takes 30 minutes to charge? Do you think Mercedes is going to let BMW steal the entire luxury market? Absolutely not. They have to match the spec.
Okay, so I asked to make the projection based on the current production and what's is actually not the hype, but what was the real story. So we have here for BYD actually, because they are already ahead of the Samsung, and they are, well, their technology uses less silver. At this point, they are more significant than a Samsung battery, and that's the projections what you see for the next 18 months. So the 18 months, it's well, we're looking, that's in a million ounces. So we're looking for BYD maximum 3.2 billion ounces going into 2027. And for Samsung, 1.6 billion ounces to 3 billion ounces going into 2027. And for the next year, not very much, because it's just beginning. I ask about the Tesla. If the Tesla entering this market, well, there is nothing is reported right now according to AI estimates, because they were working on something else. Well, they might, but right now the Tesla, it's all hype and speculation about silver batteries. There's unfortunately lots of hype and speculation squeeze in between good and relative information. So you have to be careful of right now with the AI. Samsung actually purchased the mine production securing supply in advance. Okay, so there you go. So if you pause the video and you read this paragraph, so basically what Samsung did, they paid $7 million to the mine, and they secure their production for the next 2 years, which will be enough for them to like, you know, for the silver they are planning to use for the next 2 years. Okay, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's a beginning. It's a new player in this market. So there is no hype for the first 2 years. Basically, my conclusion. But there is something to keep an eye on. So there is new applications. New application that could in let's say after 1.5 2 years takes a significant portion of the silver supplies, but how it could translate in the price in short term, because looking what is going on in the silver market, they might start to build their inventory in advance. That's the one, but they are not doing this, right? Well, they're doing it kind of buying a future mine production. That's how it is, but they're not going, like, you know, taking the delivery on the comics. That's how it plays out. So that's going to be it for this silver video. Thank you very much for watching, and please like and comment to support my work.